Brock Purdy got a 5-year, $265 million contract extension from the San Francisco 49ers. That's a good thing for the Cardinals. Why? Let's discuss.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Locked On Cardinals, Alex Clancy here. Follow me on Twitter, Clancy's Corner. Follow the podcast and Locked On AZ Cards. Thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen free wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Please go to the YouTube channel. Search Locked On Arizona Cardinals. Hit that subscribe button, man. Leave a like on the video. Keep the comments coming. Really, really enjoying the interaction with everybody. Those who DM me on Twitter or, through YouTube. I just want to grow this family as much as possible. If you want to go leave a review where reviews are left, cool. I'm not going to eat your lunch if you don't. I'm just happy that you're here. I continue to discuss, 15 years in the space, and this is my 9th season doing this show. Like, everything seems to be happening organically in a couple different senses. Like, this is what the culmination of a 3-year buildup looks like. And it reminds me, it's like, only control what you can control. That sounds awful. Like, you want everything to be perfect the entire way. And obviously 90% of the things you can't control. And what we've seen in the NFC West this offseason, it's kind of bouncing the Cardinals' way too, in my opinion. And the most recent is the Brock Purdy extension. And this isn't going to be a bashing Brock Purdy segment by any stretch, but I do want to discuss it. The Cardinals play both of their games against Seattle and San Francisco between weeks 1 through 11. Is that a good thing? I'll discuss it. And then Kyler Murray had his charity event over the weekend. It's speaking volumes, man. Things are different. And even if you're a Kyler Murray hater, you can't hate on charity and you can't hate on what he does charitably. I think there's a line of demarcation there. Brock Purdy, 5-year, $265 million extension. Some of the numbers, I got these from NBC Sports Bay Area because the absolute particulars have not been divulged yet. Like, it's not on Spot Track yet. It's not an over the cap. I looked. So there's still some things kind of up in the air, or up in the air. The media doesn't know about it, or they're still working on it. But a couple of the numbers that we do know. Again, this is from an article at NBC Sports Bay Area. So $165.05 million in new money over the first 3 years, and $170.14 million over the first 4 years. $215 million in new money over the first 4 years, and $220 million over the first 5 years. So what there's a little discrepancy there. I'm not exactly sure if these are potentials of what it could be. But what we do know is $55 million in 2028, $50 million in 2029, and $50 million in 2030. They're unsure. Well, it hasn't been divulged yet of the exact structure, but there's speculation there's going to be an out after the 3rd year, because there's always an out somewhere, whether it be to restructure or to move off from or whatever it is. There's that. But the big thing also is the no trade clause. He's got a full ass no trade clause, which is banana sandwich to me. I think what it is he didn't get the 60 plus mil that he probably wanted. It's like, all right, take 10 mil less a year. We'll give you no trade clause. So you're not the 8th quarterback on the Cleveland Browns if we decide to move off of you. The reason why this is a good thing for the Arizona Cardinals, the obvious ones first. They're not as good without Christian McCaffrey. They're not as good without Trent Williams. Those are things that are absolutely necessary for that team to produce at a high level. Christian McCaffrey's been oft injured 2 years ago. Brock Purdy had a career year, and so did Christian McCaffrey. So, maybe not a career year, but Christian McCaffrey played all the games 2 years ago. Trent Williams, this offensive line is not a quarter as talented as when he's not on the field. And he's pushing 40. So while it may not just be for this year, it's good for the Cardinals because over the next 4 years, now they're paying a quarterback more than $11. So you can't just load up the roster. Fred Warner is reported to be getting another contract. George Kittle just got made the highest paid tight end in football. Like, you can't pay everybody. So Ricky Pearsall's on his rookie steal deal. Brandon Ayuk already got paid. But, like, that's a lot of cheese on the offensive side of the ball. That's a lot of money. And now they actually have to play with the checkbook that all other organizations have to play with because they didn't get lucky drafting Mr. Irrelevant. Brock Purdy's been great. He's a system guy. And he runs the system very well. This isn't a knock. This isn't like, oh, throw anybody there and Kyle Shanahan will make it work. While that's probably 25% true, Brock Purdy doesn't get the flowers that he deserves. He's done it year over year. This isn't a one-year wonder thing. But why it's good for the Cardinals outside of the roster construction and outside of the no trade clause and outside of the speculation that he's going to be the quarterback for the next 3 years without an out is you know what his ceiling is and you know what you can make his floor. While the NFC West is one of the toughest divisions in football still, it's for the entirety of the team's rosters, not the AFC West with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. Okay. And I guess Bo Nix now. It's not the AFC North with Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. It's like, good luck getting through those two. I don't even care about the other two guys. It's not the NFC North. Like, these are deep rosters. And it's something that can be circumvented more than somebody like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson just shattering any game plan you have against them. It levels the playing field, and it will for the next at least 3 years. Or 4 years. I don't, because he had one more year in his deal. So through 2029. So this is good news for the Cardinals in a sense that it's not even the devil you know thing. Because who would they have signed instead? Aaron Rodgers? Traded for Kirk Cousins? It's like, okay. But like you see over the next handful of years, which is going to be some of the most important football this organization has ever played with the expectations that come along with it, regardless of if you think Kyler Murray's the guy or not. This Arizona Cardinals roster is built for sustained relevancy. And any extra dollar that goes to the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers is a win, let alone $45 extra million a year. I think his contract was less than $6 million to start for the entirety of it. So, like, yeah, now they got to play fair ball. They acknowledge the talent of Brock Purdy coming out of Iowa State. He's played very well for them. He's taken them to a couple conference championship games, and I'd rather that with all of this is predicated upon this situation that the San Francisco's have to have in order for Brock Purdy to produce than them taking a swing and bringing in a more proven veteran guy who could elevate. Like, say they would have traded for like Matthew Stafford or something like that, even though it would have been shorter, that would have been a nightmare situation. So when you see the money, he deserves it. The production's been there. And you know exactly what you're going to get with Brock Purdy every week. And every time the Cardinals play him, you'll know that he can be had. And that's a huge benefit for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, with that, they're playing now the, for sure, Brock Purdy-led San Francisco 49ers and the Sam Darnold-led Seattle Seahawks 4 times combined through the first 11 weeks of the 2025 season. Is it good or bad to front load it like that? We'll discuss it next. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by Skylight. Say goodbye to sticky notes, scribbled plans on the fridge, and overlapping calendar invites. The Skylight calendar is here to bring clarity to the chaos and helps families stay organized without distress. The sleek digital display syncs with your existing calendars, Google, Apple, Outlook, more you know, making it simple to track appointments, practices, dinners, and reminders all in one easy-to-see place. Right now, Skylight is offering our listeners $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to skylightcal.com/NFL. Go to skylightcal.com/NFL for $30 off your 15-inch calendar. That's skylightcal.com/NFL. So, of course, you got to pay some respect to Brock Purdy. He wasn't just given $265 million because it's a fun story. The dude's produced. The players love him. He's coachable. Like, I see him at this time in his career as a better version of Jared Goff with Sean McVay because he fits Kyle Shanahan's system better than Jared Goff fit Sean McVay's system. And I know that Jared Goff made it to a Super Bowl also after his terrible, I think he started 0-7 with Jeff Fisher, and then they brought Sean McVay in and slowly but surely got better. I still think that, Matthew Stafford was Jared Goff. Matthew Stafford had better numbers. He did it for longer. But, that trade worked out for both sides. But regardless, the devil in this situation, you know what the floor is. And you've seen what the ceiling could be. And the Cardinals, I think, and I look back at this, I need to double check. I think Kyler Murray and Brock Purdy have only faced each other twice. Like, I looked at it because obviously Kyler tore his ACL and then he was out. And then Brock Purdy missed a couple games early when the Cardinals played him. And then Brock Purdy didn't play week 18 last year. So it's weird. It's weird. Like, you'd think with a few years, they would have faced each other. I think they're 1-1 against each other. I do need to double check that. Kevin McKenna, get on it. As you were. No, I think they're 1-1, which is crazy because, they've both been around for years. I think it's fantastic the Cardinals are playing Seattle and San Francisco so early. And it's so early. It's in the first 2/3 or a little bit less of the season. It's like the first 62%, whatever it is, whatever 11 out of 18 is. I think it's great. I think it's great for a couple reasons. One, we're not going to talk about the Rams. Cardinals playing 14-18. That's bad. Okay. That's a lot can shake out, obviously, between weeks 1 through week 14. Rather not play the Rams last game of the year. Just rather not. And that's happening. And I don't think there needs to be a segment done on that. So I think it's fantastic that the Cardinals play San Francisco and Seattle early. So they're bundled together. For those that don't remember, week 3, the Cardinals go on the road to San Francisco. Then week 4, the Cardinals host the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday Night Football, short week. And then week 10, the Cardinals go on the road to Seattle. And then week 11, the Cardinals have San Francisco at home. There's a couple reasons why I think this is really good. First, the obvious one, it doesn't matter what teams it is. This is playing the NFC West teams. The games count for 2 in the division pretty much when you want to win the NFC West. They kind of count for 2, like 1.5. Tiebreakers, actual record, things like that. You want to get it early. Also, for Seattle specifically, I want to play Sam Darnold in a new system as early as possible. I want to play him as early as possible. On the road, Thursday Night Football, fantastic. That's a dream setup. Because listen, if he replicates, I'll eat my words. They structured pretty much a 1-year deal for Sam Darnold for a reason. They structured it for a reason. I don't know why they let DK Metcalf go. I don't know. Geno Smith, I don't know. I know why they traded DK Metcalf because they weren't going to give him $150 million. Come on, what are we doing here? I don't know why the Geno Smith thing happened. And I also know that Sam Darnold is on his 5th team since being drafted. I want to see it early, and I love seeing it in the middle also. Because we know a couple things about Sam Darnold. One, usually wherever he goes, it happened in Carolina. He won his first 3 games. And then obviously it's happened in Minnesota. He'll make you fall in love with him. It's like Sam Bradford, except for when he was with the Cardinals when he forgot how to play football. Thanks, Steve. And Mike Glennon, after drafting Josh Rosen. Anyways. He can spring together wins early, and we've seen it. And then he just falls off the proverbial cliff. He didn't do it in Minnesota. Minnesota was perfect. He played great. And listen, if that's what it's going to be for Seattle, they got to steal. If that's what it's going to be for Seattle, they got to steal. It hasn't ever been that besides last season. And it may have never been, ever, if J.J. McCarthy didn't get hurt in the preseason. So I'll take my chances on history over what we saw last year. I'll take my chances. And I'd rather take my chances early and then right in the middle of the season, I think is the second. It's the best. You don't want to play him late because if they figured it out at that point, like there's still things up in the air. He's going to be less than 3 months into a new team. Who knows? He may be benched by that. We have no idea. We know that roster for Seattle is not close to as talented offensively as it has been. No Tyler Lockett, who is the safety blanket for the team. He's like the new age Doug Baldwin, but maybe better. DK's gone. So Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to be the one. He's going to be a stud. They've got Jake Bobo. I think maybe they drafted a wide receiver. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. The point is that offense is not what it has been. And the defense for the Cardinals isn't what it has been either. So I think that's great. Week 4, Thursday Night Football, sign me up. San Francisco is the more fascinating one, okay? I'd, again, much rather play San Francisco as early as possible. You want to get these out of the way. If you lose a couple, you can recover. If you win, say the Cardinals win 3 out of 4 of these teams, it's like, then you just have to worry about circumventing losing 2 to the Rams late. There's so many things that are going to happen this year that we've never seen before. This Cardinals defense is going to be the best it's been in a long time. You'd think. Their cornerback room legitimately and secondary, including secondary, even when Adrian Wilson and Patrick Peterson were here, this could be the best secondary in the last 20 years. Truly. And I don't think it's not difficult, at least over the last 7 or 8. We got 8. We've got 8. The Cardinals now are ascending. The Rams are idling, but that's good. Like they're idling in a good spot, obviously. We have no idea what the 49ers and the Seahawks are doing. We have no idea what their trajectory is. We have no idea. So I'd rather front load the bleep out of the division rounds. I just think out of division games, I think it's great. And I think especially, so if I were to pick, listen, I think you'd want Seattle week 14 and week 18. I don't think you'd want San Francisco, but I don't think the Rams, the Cardinals are equipped now to play football. Or they won't be, and then things will change. The things we're going to see this year that we haven't seen in a long time, that we haven't seen, especially, with Kyler Murray and then, with the coaching staff and things that as they are now, can I talk? As they're set up right now, things we haven't seen is the deepest roster that Kyler Murray's ever played with, the deepest roster that Jonathan Gannon's ever head coached, same with the coordinators. And the NFC West is up for grabs. All of those things together, it's got to benefit the Cardinals, right? One thing that definitely benefits the Cardinals is Kyler Murray and his charitable nature, his demeanor, everything. I don't care what you think about Kyler Murray on the field. You can't help but laud him for doing what he's doing off the field. And most importantly, shows the leader that he is when the cameras aren't rolling between the lines. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. I'll discuss that next. Please go to the YouTube channel, search Locked On Arizona Cardinals. Hit that subscribe button, man. Leave a like on the video. Dude, we got 16 weeks until football. Light work. Kyler Murray had his charity event this past weekend. James Conner, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., Cam Johnson, former Sun, made an appearance among many others. JG was there. All the clips that I saw from it, Let me get in front of this before anybody mentions. I know that Kyler Murray is not the only one that does charity work. I know that most professional athletes, some average, I don't know the exact number, they've got charities and they're charitable and they do good things in the community. I know all of that. And when I struggle comparing the Cardinals to other organizations, Kyler Murray to other players, I bounce back and forth depending on what the topic is. It doesn't matter what anybody else does outside the Arizona Cardinals organization for this conversation. Trey McBride had a celebrity charity basketball tournament, basketball game a couple weeks ago. Kyler Murray this past weekend was on a baseball diamond. This shows the growth and maturity not only of Kyler Murray, but of this team as a bunch of young gentlemen who are family. And you can groan and you can say, oh, you're giving too much credit. And that's not true. These little things mean so much interwoven into what they're doing roster-wise and on the field that we're on the precipice of seeing. These things are important. Not obviously the charitable part's the most important thing. And you see these guys playing around like, this is like their kids again. That's the good stuff. I just never, for years, this felt like an organization and not a family. And it was run as such. I think we're seeing the Kyler Murray now that everybody just expected him to be as a 20-year-old. Takes people longer sometimes. He's the nucleus of all of this. And he may not do it the way you want him to. And he may not be rah-rah. And he may, be demonstrative on the sidelines when something doesn't go well, heaven forbid. But he's the nucleus around which everything runs. And if you ever question what others think of him inside the locker room, go watch some clips from this past weekend. That should answer it. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Remember, without you, there is no me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.